Welcome into week 4 of the Herb Ragsdale Rumble. I am your host, Big Mike. We are, as always, brought to you by the Herb and Rodg podcast. I am joined every week by the two competitors. First off, we have Rodg, who took a little bit more of a lead, went 2 more games up last week.
Yes.
So it's getting a little bit more in hand. So hopefully Herb can come back this week as he's eating dinner apparently. Hopefully dinner's good. Herb, how are you tonight? What you got for dinner?
I figured I come on every week and I'm really professional and I'm trying hard. I'm making picks and they suck. So you know what? Professionalism out the window. I'm going to eat my dinner over here. I'm going to throw some terrible picks out. It cannot get worse at this point, Mike. So,
what is the overall record, right? What is the overall record right now?
We don't need to know the overall record. Look, guys, I'm really pressed for time. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life. Is there any way we could just get on to the picks?
You're eating gumbo. You don't have anything else going on right now.
I'm eating crow is what I'm eating. So
well, with that crow, it should taste like 15 and 17, which is what Herb is, and 19 and 13, which is what Rodg is. So there's currently a four game difference. So hopefully, again, Herb, you're going to go first this week. So hopefully you can kind of make up.
Oh, because that's made a big difference so far, Mike. I'm killing it. Yeah.
That's where I was going to get to next. After this week, if it gets any worse, if this plan doesn't work from Herb, Rodg, you will start picking every game first, and then Herb can make the decision whether he wants to go against it to try to make up points or not.
What I want to do is, can I start picking the games the week after they're played? So Rodg will pick before, I'll pick afterwards. I feel like that's fair at this point.
I'm not sure that would help, based on how the picks have gone so far. Yeah. I don't know
that's a fair point, Mike. That's a fair point. All right, bring it on.
Jump into the picks. Hopefully, Herb brings it back, makes it a little bit more interesting, so we don't have to kill this halfway through the season with the mercy rule. I don't know what the mercy rule is yet, but we may see it here pretty soon.
We're Ragsdale's. There is no mercy.
Right. No, I got you.
If mom was in here picking, we'd go, "Oh, okay, mom, great pick."
Right.
Well, I mean, maybe you should call your mom and get her to pick. Maybe you get closer.
If she didn't think I was wasting her time, I would call her. She cannot do worse than me, so yes.
All right, we're going to start off with a couple of Friday night games. First off, you've got Wisconsin traveling to Purdue. Wisconsin is currently a 6-point favor. Herb, who do you think is going to win this game and why?
Wisconsin, because I have no idea. Didn't they just lose to somebody? I'm going to go with Wisconsin. Wisconsin on the road. I like the name Wisconsin better than Purdue. And Purdue is going to perdon't this game.
That was so lame.
And you wonder why you're losing. Maybe if you spent less time thinking of these puns and more time studying your picks, you might be a little closer.
Mike, you have fair points, but it's just not going to happen. I appreciate the effort, though, Mike. I appreciate
glad to see you take this competition seriously.
Mike, it's not that I don't take it seriously. It's just I can't do any better. So.
All right, Rodg, who do you have and why?
Well, Mike, I'm going to shock both of you by starting off this week with my anti-Herb pick. Again, those that you don't know, I'm simply picking this team simply because Herb picked another team.
Do we get the theme music again?
I'm picking Purdue at home to beat Wisconsin.
Do you hear what he said, Rodg? Where's the anti-Herb music?
We don't get the theme music this week?
Cue me in.
3, 2, 1.
Anti-Herb pick. We're going with Purdue.
Yeah. Sad thing is, that's what I wanted to pick, and now I'm going to regret not
No, you pick Wisconsin. Stick with it.
Well, that is the pick for game 1 with the always entertaining anti-Herb pick from Rodg with Purdue. Next up, you have NC State traveling to Virginia. Virginia coming off of a very emotional week. North Carolina State is currently favored by 9 points, and the game is in Virginia. So, Rodg, who do you have and why?
I'm going to go with North Carolina State. Virginia hasn't looked that good this year. And I know you mentioned they came up with an emotional week. I hope everything turns around for the program. Obviously, what happened last year was a tragedy, but I am going to go with North Carolina State in this game.
Definitely going North Carolina State. Obviously, nothing bad to say about Virginia going through a lot. I will say this though, Mike tricked us into an emotional pick last week, and that pick got smoked. So definitely not picking Virginia. Going to go with NC State this week.
Yep.
Well, it does warm my heart.
Mike does not like
you
the kids.
Both love the kids. more than UAB apparently did.
Oh, yeah, UAB
Yes.
said.
Yes,
So-
UAB didn't care about them kids.
Yeah,
Yep.
UAB said blank them kids and
Like
Yep.
them kids.
and laid a big egg. All right, moving on to the big games on Saturday. We're going to start off with a good ACC matchup. That's probably one of the bigger matchups we're going to start off with. Florida State going into Clemson to battle the Tigers. Florida State, surprisingly as bad as Clemson look, is only favored by 2.5. So we'll start out with Herb on this one. I almost said Herge. I don't know who that is. Herb, who do you have and why?
That's who's been making all the picks this time.
Oh, yeah.
My
right.
record is actually 0-0. Oh, man. So before the Duke game, I think I would have leaned towards Clemson as still the powerhouse in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Florida State last week against BC didn't look great, but it's like I forgive them more for the look-ahead situation than I do how bad Clemson looked against Duke. And Clubber Lang has just been a huge – first off, we gave you a nickname. Like, we expect better. I have not seen it from Clubber Lang. I think Florida State, especially looking around the conferences, you know, their only chance of the playoff. The LSU win probably looks better by the week, but I think this is their statement. They need to win this one. I'm going Florida State.
All right, Herb picks Florida State. And Raj, what are your thoughts?
I'm going with Florida State, too. And I forget the receiver's name from Florida State. Was it it's Travis's number. Jordan Travis's number one target. I just forget the gentleman's name, but I think he and Jordan Travis are going to have a huge game. And I know Florida State's favored by 2. I'm actually going to say Florida State by 10 in this game. I'm picking Florida State by 10 points on the road.
Okay.
You can say, geez, Ross, but I'm winning. I know how to do these picks. I know what I'm doing. You're just sitting over there eating. I don't know.
Well, so to be
and just losing. I don't know.
Raj, to be fair, you're still only 19-13. It's not like you're killing it. I mean, it's easy to jump over the bar when the bar's on the floor, which is the situation we have here.
My expectations are not that high. Yes,
we're gonna call Mike the humbler.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Well, I've been hard on you. I have said from the beginning that I need to be impartial and unbiased. I've been hard on you since the beginning of the show, so I need to kind of come at Raj a little bit too when I need to, just to keep it fair and unbiased.
Yeah, but even when you went after Raj, you took a shot at me, so it's not really unfair.
Well, look, don't look behind the curtain. Just take it for what it's worth. All right, next up, you have the Big Mike special. We all know which game this one's going to be. You've got Colorado traveling up to Oregon. Dion and Prime and his team minus Travis Hunter, which I guess is like minus 2 players, to travel into Oregon. Oregon is currently a 21-point favorite. Herb, who do you have and why?
So even before the Travis Hunter injury, I was going to take Oregon. I think this was just a huge step up for Colorado. But without Travis Hunter, I feel like that's going to be even a little more glaring. And then coming off the emotions of last week, you know, and Oregon's kind of been gliding by. I feel like Oregon's going to be a little bit more prepared. I think they're going to take advantage of that defense, and I think Oregon wins this one handily.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree with everything that Herb just said. I think Oregon,
why? Because Herb's great?
Okay. No, because I just don't like agreeing with you all the time. Without Travis Hunter there, I think obviously they're going to be down one player on both sides. Their best player pretty much on both sides of the ball. I think Colorado's going to be able to put up a decent fight in this game. But I think Oregon and their defense kind of pulled away over in the second half. So I got Oregon win this game.
All right. So
let me ask you guys a quick question about this. Do you think Oregon covers? I think the line is Oregon by 21.
It is. That is I don't. Again, I'm riding with Prime the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win every game. I don't know if they'll win this, especially not having Travis Hunter. But I think that they will have the emotion and the fight to keep it close.
Yeah.
If Oregon covers, they cover in garbage time.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be a blow up by any means.
Yeah, and that's a big number to ask somebody to cover too as well.
Yeah, 21.
You know, so
won't you do something for me?
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to say that Shedeur Sanders isn't going to be able to do some special things and get some points. So even if they give up 50, they may score.
The lame singing 45. Jokes are mine.
Oh, my bad.
Leave me something.
My bad. And speaking of Shedeur is a much better quarterback than I thought. And I didn't pay attention to him. I only saw a few of his games at Jackson State. But after watching him this year, I think he's a first-round pick. That's my personal opinion. I think he's only going to get better as the season progresses. But Shedeur looked really, really good at quarterback.
Yep.
So basically what you're saying is now, finally, you believe.
No.
I believed a little
Mike,
bit.
did you pick
first.
Colorado against TCU?
I did.
I didn't. I think Mike did. I picked TCU. I believe, and now I do.
I just don't remember it. So
I started believing after they beat TCU, and I was able to watch a full game and watch them on both sides of the ball. I said, okay, Colorado's got a pretty good team. And then luckily they had Nebraska. Nebraska's not a good team. They beat Colorado State, although that game got really ugly on both sides from both teams. But going into Oregon, that's going to be a tough out. And then they got USC after that, so
yeah,
that's going to be two tough, really games.
Yep. So. All right, we're going to stay in the Pac-12 because that's where a lot of the big matchups are this weekend.
Right.
Unfortunately, they seem to be the conference kind of on top right now. Yep, for at least one more season. Then they will be the conference of nobody.
Yep.
And they may be the conference.
What do they got? Washington State and Oregon State. So
it may become the Pacific Mountain West 12. Maybe
I would stay as those two teams and just play each other like 12 times during the year, and whoever wins gets to the playoff.
Yep.
That would be
what I
smart.
do.
I heard they were going to court about something. I don't. Obviously, it's probably not to do that, but maybe to keep the rights whenever they move to see if they can move in. They were going to court for something last week. I didn't dig into a whole lot because it's the Pac-12 and
nobody cares.
It's the Pac-12.
Right.
But we will move on to what we do care about in the Pac-12 is on the field football. UCLA travels into Utah. Utah is currently favored by 4.5. And we all talk so much, I forgot to go first. So, Herb, we'll let you go first just because you're so far behind on this one regardless. Who do you have in mind?
Five for Napoli. I'm taking Utah at home. It's like I don't take Utah on the road. Take Utah at home. Honestly, UCLA has been, I guess they're 3-0, way under the radar. But Utah just a tough team. Taking them at home.
Okay, Rodg?
Since Herb made that Napoli bad joke, I'm going to throw in another anti-Herb. Well, this actually isn't an anti-Herb pick. I just think that UCLA is going to win this game on the road. I'm not going to go with stats, and I have looked at UCLA's schedule. Honestly, they haven't really played anybody. The toughest team they played was probably Coastal Carolina, and Coastal Carolina is coming off the success from like the past 2 seasons. Utah is a tough team, and I could see Utah winning this game, but something down inside of me just I need to pick UCLA. So I am going to go with UCLA in this game.
I think that's gas.
That too.
It helps to the fact that he gets to say UCLA. Maybe the whole reason he's picking this game just so he can say UCLA.
And the line is only Utah by 4.5. So I think UCLA is going to pull off the upset this weekend.
Because you can't spell upset without UCLA.
Without at least one of those? Okay.
It's worth it to see y'all's faces.
But that's okay. Get UCLA all out because I guarantee you UTSA is not on the game picks, so we won't get to go with that one. So get all the UCLA out that you can. But we will move on next. BYU traveling across the country, kind of to Kansas, to the middle of the country. Kansas, oddly enough, is better than what we seem to think in the past. Is favored by 9 points. Raj, who do you have in mind?
I'm going with Kansas, and please refresh my memory. What's the name of Kansas' quarterback? He looks really good. Not physically, but I mean, he looks good as a quarterback. He's playing.
So are you saying he's ugly?
I didn't say that. I'm pretty sure he's in good shape. He's a nice kid, but he's really, really good this year. With that being said, I'm sticking with Kansas at home.
Yeah,
Raj, what you have to understand is you're asking me for players' names. You're lucky I get team names right, much less player names. So I'm gonna need you and Bob to do some more research on your own because
you're right. I will
home team and away team, as we found out last week.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out location. So
we say Herb is bad at picks. Y'all aren't even letting me pick because I'm worse. I can't even plays away.
Jalen Daniels.
There's a reason I'm the host and not playing.
I'm sorry,
I thought Daniels was the LSU quarterback.
That's Jaden Daniels.
Did you just make that up?
What's Kansas's name? What's Kansas quarterback?
Are they twins?
Jalen, Jalon.
LSU quarterback is Jalen.
So I'm going with Kansas.
I'm going with Kansas also.
Okay, so both of you pick Kansas. Good there.
Just copied me.
Moving on to the next matchup, you have Iowa traveling in to Penn State. It's a little bit bigger of a line as well. I'm going to pick Iowa a few times in there just because they're trying to get that 325 point mark. They did really well. I think they got 41 points last week. Then their offensive coordinator was apparently a part of a huge deep fake scandal where somebody did AI that he was saying some stuff he shouldn't have said, which is kind of funny about the media. But they are traveling to Penn State. Penn State's favored by 14.5. Herb, who do you have and why?
Definitely going Penn State. They're kind of an under the radar, like depending on what metric you look at, they're still like a top 10 team. I think Penn State this is one of those years that if they lose 2 games, it's going to be or if they lose a game, it's going to be to Michigan or Ohio State. But at home, I think they take down. I was still trying to figure out, the offensive side of the ball. Penn State just is better. And I feel like Penn State is no worse than 3rd best team in the Big Ten. Go on Penn State.
Yeah, I'm going with Penn State at home. I think their quarterback has looked better than I expected him to be.
Like you think he's a good-looking guy, or are you talking about on the field?
Oh, my gosh, I can't even talk. He's thrown for 737 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, got a 71.1 QB. Oh, sorry, that's kind of talking to myself there. Anyway, I got Penn State at home. I've never really been a big Iowa guy. I kind of feel like Iowa's a team that they win important games, that they're ranked throughout the season, but once the end of the season comes, they're going to have a few losses. This is going to be one of them. Penn State at home. I think this is an easy pick.
All right, both of you guys going to Penn State. Moving right along, next up you have the University of North Carolina Tar Heels traveling into Pitt. North Carolina is currently favored by 7.5, a little bit bigger line than I expected, just with North Carolina's defense not really looking good, but they are favored going into Pitt, maybe because it is in Pittsburgh. Rodg, who do you have and why?
I'm going to go with Drake May and one of the – I don't know if he's still a Heisman front runner or not, but Drake May and the UNC Tar Heels to win this game. I'm just looking at Drake May's number. He's thrown 4 touchdowns and also 4 interceptions. I didn't realize that. It was kind of weird, but 891 yards. So he's throwing the ball, but maybe there's questions about his accuracy, but that's a whole topic for another discussion. With that being said, I am going to go with UNC.
Yeah, I'm going to go with UNC. And, I like bigger picture stuff. I think Clemson losing to Florida State, if that happens, that's a bigger deal for North Carolina because that is 2 conference games that Clemson have already lost. So, is Pitt still in the ACC?
I think so.
So for them, conference matchup, team that maybe you don't, and then didn't Pitt lose the backyard brawl for me last week? So,
they did.
If them hoes. So
they were really close. It was a really close game. They played them really well.
I don't care. Win, losses. So I am gonna go with NC. I think it's a bigger picture for them. Pitt has already let me down, and NC, you got to be thinking, man. If Clemson loses another one, this is a chance for you to get an ACC championship or be in the driver's seat for one. So
NC should be in sync this weekend.
I knew it's gonna be a lame joke. It's about to be. He started smiling while he was saying it, so I was like, "Oh my god, here we go."
Okay, bye.
That was actually good.
That was better than the first one.
Yeah, that was the best joke you've told in your life, Rodg. So go ahead.
Wow.
Thank you. Wow, my life. Okay,
that's maybe a little much. All right, next up, we go back out to the West Coast. Oregon State travels into Washington State. Oregon State's currently favored by 3 points. Rodg, who do you have and why?
I've never been a big DJU fan. I wasn't a fan of him at Clemson. I just thought the only thing that he had going for him was his size, and he could truck a few guys. Look pretty decent.
Before you pick that, the only thing I will say is seeing Clemson this year, was it really a DJ problem or was it a Clemson problem?
In my eyes, I thought it was a Clemson. I thought it was a DJ problem because he just wasn't a great quarterback. But now that you look at Clemson this year, they don't have Brian Bressee's gone. I think some of their defensive guys got drafted. Clemson just looks
bad.
They're taking some steps back. Yeah.
But didn't they also lose their offensive coordinator too? And to your point, Mike,
and Venables went to OU last year.
Yeah, the problem was Clubber Lang looked good last year. So it's
it's true.
Was it just a case of the backup looking good because it's backup minutes and then, taking over late or what? But it's a good question. It's definitely a good question.
It's a very good question, yeah.
But Mike only asks good questions, though, so we expect the best from him.
So Oregon State on the road. Yeah, I'm picking Oregon. I'm gonna stick with that. Even though I opened those comments with DJU, I am going to stick with Oregon State on the road in this game, and I think Oregon State covers.
I thought you were going to pick Washington State the way you started.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that, to fake you out.
Yeah, because unfortunately I want to pick Oregon State with DJ. I feel like he's had a resurgence there. and the last two remaining members of the Pac-12 duking it out. Like, this is for the right to call yourself the Pac-12 champion.
This is a rivalry game. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Oregon. Yeah, rivalry game. I'm going with Oregon State, but I was really wanting to bust out the anti-Rodg pick there. But
which I don't think you've done all season. I don't think you've had.
Usually when he's first, he goes with the easy ones. That's why.
Oh, okay. So he only gets the easy ones to pick first, and you get all the hard ones.
Exactly.
But yet you still get them all wrong.
When you do the anti-Rodg pick, you have to come up with your own music too.
Oh, I got it. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe it'll be the next one. We're going to travel into the SEC again. Mississippi State traveling into South Carolina. South Carolina is currently favored by 6.5 points.
Yeah.
Rodg, I'll let you go first. No, I'm going to let Rodg go first just in case
I'm going with South Carolina. South Carolina actually looked pretty decent in the first half against Georgia last week. Spencer Rattler, he did show a little bit of life, but I mean,
and then they took the whole second half off.
Yeah, even he took the whole second half off to prepare for this game Saturday. Mississippi State hasn't looked that great this year, coming off the loss. I'm just going to go with South Carolina this one.
But I will say before you make a pick, and maybe see if I can influence you a little bit.
No.
South Carolina has had a history, and Spencer Rattler specifically, to play up and down to competition, probably more than any school than we've seen, probably in college football. So, with that being said, I mean, I might lean Mississippi State, but I'm not picking. So, Herb,
I'm going South Carolina. I just don't have any faith in Mississippi State. I think they're going to be the worst team in the SEC this year.
Wow.
Worse than us? Ooh. Did I say that?
Third worst. Maybe behind us and Vandy.
Yeah, you did. You got to have Vandy in there.
But the way we played Saturday, Vandy, never mind.
Yeah, that dude that was talking trash on Vandy against us, like, I don't want to see them this year.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to stay in the LSU, in the SEC. Can you guess what game we're going to go to next? We've got Arkansas traveling down to Arkansas. LSU is currently favored 17.5 at home. Herb, I'll let you go first, since you cried about the last time. I was trying to help you out with the anti-Rodg pick. You can go first if you'd like to.
Yeah, pick a close game, though. LSU's fisting to smoke them. Like this.
We got another game. There's a method behind my madness. There's one more game after this that you may.
Smoke them.
All right, LSU.
LSU big in this game. Arkansas blew that game against BYU. I think they'll play them tough and physical early on, but I think LSU will just hit enough big plays to win this game. LSU.
I think LSU has a better quarterback too. Okay, we haven't really heard a lot
about rivalry game for a while. Didn't Arkansas and LSU used to play at the end of the year?
At some point, yeah, I'm sure they probably did.
Nobody really cares. Relevant facts again, yeah.
Back in the 50s, it was probably whether they
back in the 50s.
When they eat hog or gator after the game, whoever wins, who knows?
Oh gosh, I'm going with LSU in this game. I think Jaden Daniels is looking really, really good this year, and LSU's looking like one of the stronger teams in the SEC West. Of course, I'm not gonna say too much more about that and get into that. But with that being said, I'm gonna stick with LSU to win this game.
All right, there we go. Last pick of the night. Rodg will go first. It is a close game. I'm sure everybody can probably kind of figure where we're going to go. It's probably the biggest game of the week. You've got Ohio State traveling into Notre Dame. Ohio State is currently favored by 3 points. Notre Dame's at home, so both teams have looked fairly good against inferior opponents. So, Rodg, who do you have and why?
This is probably going to be the best game of the day. McCord's looking better and better each week. Obviously, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., who's the best. I think he's the best wide receiver in all of college football. Hartman's looking extremely well for Notre Dame. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of still on the fence with this one. I'm gonna go with Ohio State to cover. And I'm not really confident in that pick. I'm not sure about that pick, but that's who I'm sticking with right now. And I think Marvin Harrison has a huge game receiving.
Yeah. So I never gonna pick Notre Dame in big games. I just don't have any belief in them. Ohio State, I do think, is the better overall team, better quarterback, better offense, and they seem to be rounding into form a little bit. So, like, I don't think I have any of the choice but to anti-Rodg pick.
Oh, wow.
I'm going
my goodness.
Notre Dame.
Wow.
At home to shock the world and beat Ohio State.
Okay.
Wow. I had already written down Ohio State with all that passionate talk about
He really threw us for a loop on that one.
Very good. Nicely done. I commend you on that. I'd literally already written down USC for your or Ohio State for your pick and knew it was coming, and then flipped it up, turned it around, and came out with a Notre Dame. So hopefully that works out for you. You finally get an
smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh
no! Well, hopefully it's not oh no for you, and you'll actually win that game. Maybe game one here, but that is all the games that we will count this week. As always, or not as always, but most weeks we will talk a little bit Alabama. And we'll make it real quick because I know we've been going for 25 minutes, and I know everybody's got things to do. One word answer from both of you. Alabama named Jalen Milroe is officially the starting quarterback. You got Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin talking a little bit of smack, and they are actually playing in Bryant-Denny this week, so we actually know where we're playing the game, so that's always good. One word answer. Do you feel more excited or nervous? Those are your two words, excited or nervous about the game Saturday, and we'll start with Rodg.
Nervous. Yeah, just nervous. Going into these games, I usually am very, very confident about our abilities to beat Ole Miss, but based on what I've seen the past 2 weeks, I have absolutely obviously Milroe is going to be starting, but I have absolutely no idea what to predict and what's going to happen. I don't know. Yeah, you're not counting my words. I get it.
47.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know how our offensive line is going to play. I feel like defensively, we've looked pretty good this year. Obviously, we had our secondary hiccups when we played Texas, but other than that, I think we're looking okay on the defensive side of the ball. But offensively, I have no idea what to expect. So I'm nervous about 30, this game.
We could score
I'll be happy when this game's over.
Yes,
right,
very much so.
I appreciate the opinion there, and I appreciate Herb following the rules of one word. You may not be able to pick games, but you can follow rules. So we like that. Hopefully, the main thing is hopefully we all have a great Saturday. Enjoy some football. Hopefully Alabama gets right, as all of us as Alabama fans. It looks a little bit better than they did at South Florida. But from Big Mike, Herb, and Rodg, hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Thank you very much, and roll Tide.
Roll Tide, everybody.